Welcome to the Lounge, everyone. My name is Toby Roydell, and today I, the undisputed and self-proclaimed master of love, will tell you what true love really is. Sometime these days, I sat down and had this inner monologue about love and true love. Don't ask me why. And boom, video idea. I thought about whether love always stays the same throughout life, or if things change throughout life. And duh, of course it changes. It grows and matures just like the people who inherit it. That makes sense. So what are, in my book, the phases of love? I came up with 3. And of course, it is needless to say that not everyone fits into one specific phase or one specific phase at a time, and it doesn't apply to anyone or everyone in the same way, of course. I would say the hardest thing overall is finding love. This is always the biggest struggle, of course. I also wondered whether we will ever answer the question, or if you maybe have answered the question biologically, who can love more? Like with more intensity, men or women? I will not put my opinion out there because I don't want to get flamed, and I don't even know if this is even measurable. When you are freshly in love, there is this phase of testing and feeling each other out. Like, is she really my type? What are her opinions? What does she do and think if I do that or think that and say that? All this kind of stuff. But wait, the most witty of you might have recognized that I did a mistake already. Is this already love? This phase of having these rose-tinted glasses on, this kind of view, is that already love? When is love not just a feeling, but the truth, kind of, a fact? And can it even be that, considering that love can die down and between two people? So it probably was never even really there? This is where it gets tricky. This is where it gets really difficult. Because in hindsight, it most likely is really hard to tell when love exactly happened. When was the moment where things switched from understanding each other well and having fun together and jokes and stuff, and when it's love? But there is that point definitely where you ask yourself, is this love? Yeah, I do love. And please do not be thrown off if this hasn't happened to you yet. You are not missing out. It just hasn't happened yet, and probably better so then in that case. And don't force it, because in my experience, as I'm one who really tried to force things in that matter, it just happens when you least expect it. It really does. So always be clear, you're not missing out on anything. And when it happens, it happens. Same with children. You need to be ready for them. Not get 1 or 2 because that other family has 1 or 2. This is not a competition. It's not a competition. So after this time of testing each other out and probably falling in love, or at least deciding to stay together for a while, the next phase, the team phase, comes into place. And this phase, the team phase, is probably the most important one. It is about becoming a team, the best team there ever was. You could, on the one hand, finish each other's sentences, or you know exactly how the other person is feeling just by looking at them, or how they are not typing any emojis after their message on WhatsApp, and you immediately know shit just went south. Or your name is George, and you don't use any emojis or whatsoever, and you never know what's going on. What's wrong with you, George? What's wrong with you? Becoming a team the way I just described it, of course, does have a romantic part to it. This is not everyone's style, and this is fine. I, however, for my part, I really like it, and although I feel that not many people really reach this phase ever, not all too many. What in fact also is a big part of this phase is getting into a certain balance between sexuality and your cognitive intimacy. Because you cannot build a relationship completely on sex. A healthy relationship, guys, healthy relationship. So you can't build your relationship completely based on sex and not only with talking. It just doesn't work. In 99 of 100 cases. Of course, there are different types of couples and relationships and stuff like that where a certain part doesn't play a role, but I wouldn't overestimate these kind of relationships. Let's just say it wouldn't work for me. A healthy balance of everything. The third and last phase of love, in my book, consists majorly of maturity. The maturity of love. When physical love and sexuality don't mean as much anymore. I want to illustrate this phase with a little story that, when I heard it the first time, almost brought a tear to my eye because it's really heartwarming and sweet, and it's also a true story, which is great. Of course, you can reach maturity in love at vastly different ages. This is just an example for true love at a very high age. So there's this woman, let's call her Sally. Sally is almost 90 years old. Just like her husband, Tim. They've been married for over 50 years. The only thing is that Sally doesn't remember that. Because after an accident that she had, she suffered from amnesia. Which led to her forgetting pretty much everything just by the following day. Even her husband, Tim. And this was absolutely devastating for Tim. Because, his wife wouldn't recognize him anymore. So he thought about how could he solve that, how good could he get through to Sally and bring her mind back. He finally sought out for some help of an expert who simply told him he should recreate or something, a moment that was so impactful in the life of his wife Sally that would probably trigger her brain. And he thought about it, and then he had an idea. He went to the jeweler, got a proposing ring, went back home, and just as he did 50 years ago, he proposed to Sally. And this moment that was so impactful for Sally suddenly made her remember so many things, especially that moment, which brought, again, just like back in the day, tears to her eye because of joy. The only sad thing is that just by the following day, Sally would have forgotten about it again. So, Tim would propose to her every single day for the rest of their life. To bring this powerful moment, to use this powerful moment to remind Sally of the beautiful time that they had together. And Tim would not get tired of doing it. He would do it every single day so that Sally could remember. So what really is love? What the hell do I know? I can just say, good luck finding it. Thanks so much for watching. If you like my style of videos and how I present them, you can click the like button down below, the thumbs up button, to let me know. My name is Toby Roydell, and I will see you again next time here in my lounge.